Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the title. Welcome to the channel. It's the Possum. And GW Woodruff, George, made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So, George Jones's garage sale today. And GW said that this is one of his favorites of George Jones's, which would mean that it's one of his favorite songs of all time. But he said, but then again, all of George Jones' songs are GW's favorites. So take that into consideration. In any case, and he also said, you can guess what this is going to be about. And yes, I can. And I've done a couple of garage sale songs, and one had like a mirror in it and other things. And it was like, oh, God. Then other songs are kind of funny when the stuff's just tossed out on the lawn. So let's get into this, shall we? I mean, the Possum is just the Possum. It doesn't matter. And he's like Loretta Lynn in ways where they reveal their lives. You know, George had a drinking problem and No-Show Jones, and he would make fun of himself. But he owned it. And in one sense, Loretta talked about her own life and her marriage, and, she threw Dew under the bus, but really he created the bus. So he belonged under it in many of those songs. But then again, she called out women who wanted her man. But I don't know. I'm going to have to do a new intro video because about 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever, I did a video about what makes traditional country what it is, just how intellectual it is, far more intellectual than people understand. Just how real, down to earth, it gives the lyrics room to breathe. There's so many elements to it. I may do a new one. I don't know, because I'm just so enamored of just traditional country and the people and the respect that they have for the forerunners in the country music, faith and journey. So anyway, GW, thank you for this gift, my friend. And here we go. Garage sale today. Starts with harmonica like he's a hobo. Unbelievable.
Please feel at home, neighbor, as you look around. Browse through my treasures, they're all good and sound. A lifetime of memories are now on display. She's gone and left me, garage sale today. A piece of white netting that once was a veil, white satin slippers now faded and pale. There's a book of pressed roses, a bridal bouquet. Handle them gently, garage sale today. A broken down cradle and light baby blue. How well I remember the day it was new.
God. You bring the kids into it, it just keeps driving you deeper and deeper and deeper into his saga. This, it's real. I don't have kids of my own, but I of course know people who have gone through divorce, are going through divorce, or just recently divorced. I have clients who are going through divorce and have gone through divorce and have children, some of whom don't. I've been divorced but don't have kids, and it when you bring the children into it, it magnifies the complexity of it and the agony of it and the anger in it and all that you've got to manage. But man, you just feel it.
Laughter of angels, hi baby at play. Wrap it up quickly, garage sale today.
Cut to the chase, man.
2 bottles, a nickel, and a glass for a dime. The chair costs $1 and is just in its prime.
Huh.
The old skillet, it cost $0.25. Each picture a dime. Each treasure so priceless, to sell it's a crime. There's a stack of used school books, grades 1 through 4, broken Crayolas all over the floor. An old one-legged dolly, a slightly used sleigh. Take them all with you, garage sale today. A pair of old pillows from off of the bed.
Ouch.
We slept
Ouch.
together for the night we were wed. And there's an old leather Bible that taught us to pray.
Who gets a family Bible?
Sell them, garage sale today.
All right, a few items he couldn't sell. The Bible, I think. The pillows, like, yeah. Your whole life's on display. Opening line of the song, and that's what it is. Like when people know you're getting that's why partly why divorce feels like such a sense of failure, because people see the indications, the fallout, the subsequent wreckage, very real terms of what the divorce produced, and knowing that this would be coming, or to some extent it would be coming, you still didn't work it out. And that is why it feels like such a sense of failure when you're on the inside, partly that you could not make it work. And not everybody within a relationship is amenable to making it work. Some people get into a marriage thinking they're going to like it. Then they find out that they don't necessarily even dislike the other person that they're with, their spouse. They just don't like being in a relationship. Sometimes, experience is a tremendous educator. And for better or worse, it can show you that you made a mistake going into something. The problem is there's a human cost to it, and it's the person that you love, that you slept with, that you maybe raised kids with, or are raising kids with, or are thinking about it. But then you realize, I can't do this. And I mean, that wasn't my situation. I'm speaking just as a matter of circumstance for some folks. So what do you do with that? But in other situations, you'd both like to make it work, but neither compromises enough or can sacrifice enough of who they are, or maybe what they value, or how they do things, or whatever, in order to make it acceptable to the other person. And you do sacrifice things, contrary to some of the things I see out there today, and whether it's in social media or just the approaches culturally in the United States where I live, is that no, I get what I deserve. It's not the pursuit of happiness, it's a guarantee of happiness that's in the Bill of Rights, which you're wrong about. It's the pursuit. And where we see like free speech has now been like extreme speech, where I say, if the wording had been in there, if the forefathers, those who wrote the Constitution, they were only in their 20s by and large, by the way, when they wrote the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. If it said freedom of civil discourse, if it said that, I mean, maybe it would have remained intact better, where people could talk better with one another, including in a marriage and relationship, where you don't think I'm entitled to something, like I got to work for something and I've got to give up something. The other person, your spouse, is giving something up as well. You always give something up in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a marriage. You're giving something up. You're getting something for it as well. So nothing is free. There are no free lunches, so to speak. Somebody's paying for it somewhere. And in a relationship, you get something out of it, which is why you go into it to begin with, but you're also going to give up something. And both of you have to agree, hopefully, and communication is a huge part of it. But knowing what's coming, in certain ways, you do know if you get divorced, if you're the one who initiates it, who decides to leave the relationship, you're still going to have that a sense of failure. And you may decide that's the course you want to take. But just like going into a marriage, you may start to think at some point, well, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't know it was going to be like this. The same thing applies if you get out of the marriage and now you're divorced. Now you're living on your own and you're like, I didn't know it would be like this. I kind of preferred the other way, being married. I just didn't realize. And that's where communication, forethought, patience, overcoming the battles with yourself to stay in it. So you don't have to unload all your stuff on the front yard and let everybody see your life on display. And the thing is, he's the one on the front yard selling the stuff. She doesn't have to deal with that embarrassment because she's the one who left. Yeah. So, GW, man, you got me going on that one because I feel bad for people who get divorced. I know what mine felt like, and I didn't want it. And I'm okay with it now, 20 years later. But I mean, you make peace with it at some point. And I'm not an angry, vindictive, vengeful person, so it's just not in me to be that way. But I clearly have thoughts on it, as everybody does when they get divorced. But this is just brutal. So I'm going to rate this song. The items, the way it was depicted, a couple of glasses here for a quarter, or bottles for a quarter, a glass for a dime, these kinds of things. The crib that we raised our kids in. You're like, those lyrics were actually easy to write because those are just factual. That's just, talk to anybody who got divorced and they'll give you an itemized list of things that it hurt them to divest themselves of. But the number that popped into my head on this is an 8.9. The instrumentation was okay. It was George Jones. I mean, so that bumps it way up the list. I mean, I don't know if somebody else had sung this, maybe it would have been a 6.5 or something. I don't know, but it's George Jones. So GW Bridge Woodruff, thank you so much for this gift and this request, my friend. And there you go. I hope you guys never have to deal with this. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.